वासु ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. Chapter 9 Answers by citing the right Lord's version. Text 1. Shri Shuka Uvacha Atamaya Rajan Prasyanubhavatmana Naghate Tarth Sambandha Swapan Drushtir Van Jasa.
Sri Sukadev Goswami said, O king, unless one is influenced by the energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, there is no meaning to the relationship of the pure soul in pure consciousness with the material body. That relationship is just like a dreamer's seeing his own body working.
Text 2. Bahurup iva bhati maya bahurupaya Ramano gune veshvasya mamahamiti manyate.
The illusioned living entity appears so many forms offered by the external energy of the Lord, while enjoying in the modes of material nature, the engaged living entity misconceives thinking in terms of I and mine.
Yarhi vabmahimani sveparsmin kalmayayo Ramet gat samho sathastasya Vaktavyo dasate tadobhayam.
As soon as the living entity becomes situated in his constitutional glory and begins to enjoy the transcendence beyond time and material energy, he at once gives up the two misconceptions of life, I and mine, and thus becomes fully manifested as the pure self.
Text 4. Atam tattva vishuddhyartham yadaha bhagvanamritam brahmane darshyam rupam vyalika vrata dritaha.
O king, the personality of Godhead, being very much pleased with Lord Brahma because of his non deceptive penances in Bhakti Yoga, presented his eternal and transcendental form before Brahma, and that is the objective goal for purifying the conditioned soul.
Text 5. Sa adidevo jagtam paroguru swadhishnam yamasathaye sisrishyaye shakta tamanadya gachad shmatra samantam prapancha nirmana vidharya bhavet.
Lord Brahma, the first spiritual master, supreme in the universe, could not trace out the source of his lotus seat. And while thinking of creating the material world, he could not understand the proper direction for such creative work, nor could he find out the process for such creation.
Text 6. Sachintyan में kadamba स्युपाश्निषणोद दृगिर्दितं वचोभिः सप्रशिशेषु यच्छोडशमेकविशं निष्किञ्चनानां नृपश्यदधनं विदुः.
While thus engaged in thinking in the water, Brahmaji heard twice from nearby two syllables joined together. One of the syllables was taken from the 16th and the other from the 21st of the Sparsha alphabets, and both joined to become the wealth of the renounced order of life.
Text 7. निशम्य तद्वकृतदृदक्षदिशो विलोक्य तत्रान्यद्पश्यमाना स्वधिष्णयमास्थाय विमर्श तदितं तपस्युपादिष्ट इव दधे मनः.
When he heard the sound, he tried to find the speaker, searching on all sides. But when he was unable to find anyone besides himself, he thought it wise to sit down on his lotus seat firmly and give his attention to the execution of penance as he was instructed.
Text 8. दिव्यं सहस्राब्दमोघदर्शनो जिता नीलात्मा विजितो भयेन्द्रिया अत्पयक्ष्माखिलोकतपनं तपस तपसत्पियांसत् पतां समाहिता.
Lord Brahma underwent penances for 1,000 years by the calculation of the demigods. He heard this transcendental vibration from the sky and he accepted it as divine. Thus, he controlled his mind and senses, and the penances he executed were a great lesson for the living entities. Thus, he is known as the greatest of all ascetics.
Text 9. तस्मे स्वलोकं भगवान् सभाजिता सन्दर्श्यामास् परं न यत् परं व्यपेत संक्लेश विमोह साध्वसं स्वदृष्टवदीभ पुरुषेश भिष्टुतम्.
The personality of Godhead, being thus very much satisfied with the penance of Lord Brahma, was pleased to manifest his personal abode, Vaikuntha, the supreme planet above all others. This transcendental abode of the Lord is adored by all self realized persons, freed from all kinds of miseries and fear of illusionary existence.
Text 10. पर्वर्तयत्र रजतमस्तस्यो सत्वं च मिश्रं न च कालविक्रमः न यत्र माया किमुता परे हरे रनुव्रता यत् सुरसुरर्चितः.
In that personal abode of the Lord, the material modes of ignorance and passion do not prevail, nor is there any of their influence in goodness. There is no predominance of the influence of time, so what to speak of the illusionary external energy? It cannot enter that region. Without discrimination, both the demigods and the demons worship the Lord as devotees.
Text 11. श्यामावदातः शतपत्रलोचनः पिष्टङ्गवस्त्रासुरुच सुपेशः सर्वे चतुर्बाह उन्मेषणमणि पर्वे कनिष्काभरणा सुरचसः.
The inhabitants of the Vaikuntha planet are described as having a glowing sky bluish complexion. Their eyes resemble lotus flowers, their dress is of yellowish color, and their bodily features very attractive. They are just the age of growing youth, growing youths. They all have four hands. They are all nicely decorated with pearl necklaces, with ornamental melodies, and they all appear to be effulgent.
Text 12. परवाले परवाल्वे दुर्य मृणाल वर्चसः परिसफुर्त कुंडल मालिनः.
Some of them are effulgent like coral and diamonds in complexion and have garlands on their heads, blooming like lotus flowers, and some wear earrings.
Text 13. भ्राजिष्णुभैर्या परितो विराजते लसदैव मानावलिभिर्महात्मनां विद्योत्माना समदोत्मादुभिः सविद्युदद्भ्रवालिभिर्यथा नभः.
The Vaikuntha planets are also surrounded by various airplanes and all glowing and brilliantly situated. These airplanes belong to the great Mahatmas or devotees of the Lord. The ladies are as beautiful as lightning because of their celestial complexions, and all these combined together appear just like the sky, decorated with both clouds and lightning.
Text 14. श्रियत्र रूपेण युर्गाय पाद्यो करोति मानं बहुधा विभूतिभिः प्रेङ्गश्रिताया कुसुमाकरानुगे विर्गीयमाना विर्गीयमाना प्रियकर्म गायति.
The goddess of fortune, in her transcendental form, is engaged in the loving service of the Lord's lotus feet, and being moved by the black bees, followers of spring, she is not only engaged in variegated pleasure, service to the Lord, along with her constant companions, but is also engaged in singing the glories of the Lord's activities.
Text 15. ददर्श तत्राखिल स्वात्वतां पतिं श्रिया पतिम जगपतिम सुनंदनंद प्रबला प्रबलाहरणादिभिः स्वपार्षदाग्रे परिसेवितं विभुम्.
Lord Brahma saw in the Vaikuntha planets the personality of Godhead, who is the Lord of the entire devotee community, the Lord of the goddess of fortune, the Lord of all sacrifices, and the Lord of all universe, and who is served by the foremost servitors like Nanda, Sunanda, Prabhala, and Arhana, his immediate associate.
Text 16. Bhritya prasadabhimukham drgasvam prasanhasarullochananam kiritinam kundalinam chaturbhujam pitam shukam vakshasi lakshitam shriya.
The personality of Godhead, seen leaning favorably towards his loving servitors, his very sight intoxicating and attractive, appeared to be very much satisfied. He had a smiling face decorated with an enchanting reddish hue. He was dressed in yellow robes and wore earrings and a helmet on his head. He had 4 hands, and his chest was marked with the lines of the goddess of fortune.
Text 17. अध्यर्हणीयासन्मास्थितं परं वृतं चतुषोडश पञ्चशक्तिभिः युक्तं भगे सवेरितरत्र चाध्रुवे स एव धामन् रममाणामीश्वरम्.
The Lord was seated on his throne and was surrounded by different energies like the four, the six, the 16, the five, and the six natural opulences, along with other insignificant energies of the temporary character. But he was the factual Supreme Lord, enjoying his own abode.
Text 18. तदर्शनाहयाद परितलोतान्तरो हृषतनुप्रेम भ्रश्रुलोचनः ननां पादाम्बुजमस्य विश्वसृग यथा पारं हन्यस्येन पथाधिगम्यते.
Lord Brahma, thus seeing the personality of Godhead in his fullness, was overwhelmed with joy within his heart, and thus in full transcendental love and ecstasy, his eyes filled with tears of love, he thus bowed down before the Lord. That is the way of the highest perfection for the living being, Paramahansa.
Text 19. तं प्रियमाणं समुपस्थितं कविं प्रजा विसर्गे निशासनहर्णां बभाषयिष्यतिस्मिच्छोचिषा गिरा प्रिया प्रियं प्रीतमनः कर स्पर्शन.
And seeing Brahma present before him, the Lord accepted him as worthy to create living beings to be controlled as he desired. And thus, being much satisfied with him, the Lord shook hands with Brahma and, slightly smiling, addressed him thus.
Text 20. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha त्वयाहं तोषिता सम्यग् वेदगर्भशिक्षः चिरमृतेन तपसा दुस्तोषः कुट योगिनाम्.
The beautiful personality of Godhead addressed Lord Brahma. O Brahma, impregnated with the Vedas, I am very much pleased with your long accumulated penance with the desire for creation. Hardly am I pleased with the pseudo mystics.
Text 21. वरं वरे भद्रं ते वरेशं मामि भावचितं ब्रह्माक्षस्य परीक्षामा पुंसां मदर्श नावधिः.
I wish you good luck, O Brahma. You may ask from me, the giver of all benediction, all that you may desire. You may know that the ultimate benediction, as the result of all penances, is to see me by realization.
Text 22. मनीषानुभवो भावोऽयं मम लोकावलोकनं यदुप्रश्रुत्यर्हसि चकर्थ परमं तपा.
The highest perfectional ingenuity is the personal per- perception of my abodes. And this has been possible because of your submissive attitude in the performance of severe penance according to my order.
Text 23. प्रत्यादृष्टं मया तत्र कर्म विमोहिते तपो मे हृदयं साक्षात् आत्महं तपसोऽग्नघ.
O sinless Brahma, you may know from me that it was I who first ordered you to undergo penance when you were perplexed in your duty. Such penance is my heart and soul, and therefore penance and I are non-different.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Thank you, Mataji, for the
Thank
opportunity
you.
and
Hare
sorry
Krishna.
for the mistakes. Thank you.
Bruce. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much, Shavini Mataji and Girish Prabhu. Thank you for reciting the English and the Sanskrit as well. So nicely recited. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome to today's chat, 7th of July, 2024. My name is Krishna Govinda Das. Today's verses that we'll be reading from is from Canto 2, Cosmic Manifestation, Chapter 9, Answers by citing the Lord's Version. And the verses that we're reading are 5, 6, and 7. So I hope all of you are okay and had an opportunity to bathe Lord Jagannath, Lord Baladev, and Subhadra Maharani today at Bhaktivedanta Manor. It was such a lovely event today. And as you can see, it was raining heavily, but still it didn't deter devotees coming to take that opportunity, this very rare opportunity to bathe Lord Jagannath, Subhadra Baladev. Normally you have to be Brahmin initiated to bathe the deities on the altar, but Lord Jagannath is so amazing that everyone was able to worship and bathe him. So I hope you all had an opportunity to come today. I'm just going to share my screen. Okay, just first of all, check that you can see this.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, thank you. So the verse that we're reading now is verse number 5, Canto 2, chapter 9, verse 5. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sadidevo Jagata Paraguru Swadhishnayamastaya Shishrakshayakshataha Tamnatya Gachat Trishamatra Sabatam Propagya Nirmana Vidiyaja Bhavet. Okay, I'll just read translation. Translation, Lord Brahma, the first spiritual master, supreme in the universe, could not trace out the source of his lotus seed. And while thinking of creating the material world, he could not understand the proper direction for such creative work, nor could he find the process of such creation. So, because there's 3 verses to read today, I won't read the purport. It is short, but if it's okay with you, I'll explain to you the purport's meaning of the purport. Okay. On this particular purport, Prabhupada actually explains that this verse is actually the prelude for the actual transcendental nature of the form of the Supreme Lord and the Vaikuntha planets. As mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam, there's several planetary systems of Goloka Vrindavan is the topmost outside the heavenly planets. The top of the heavenly planets is the Vaikuntha planets, where there is no misery or suffering. And in those Vaikuntha planets, they're completely different from the mature planets. So even though Lord Vishnu is residing in the heavenly planets, but yet the material manifestation is actually being created. So there's a partial sort of universe which actually expands both in the heavenly realm as well as in the material realm itself. So from Lord Vishnu is lying on the bed of Shashananta. He's always accompanied by Lakshmi Devi, the consort of Lord Vishnu Dev. And of course, he's lying on the ocean of the Garbhodaksha Vishnu, Garbhodaksha, sorry. That particular universe, as you know, there's millions and millions of universes from the bubbles that come from the pores, the skin, the pores of the skin from Lord Vishnu, Karandaksha Vishnu, when they breathe in and out, all the bubbles are created. So within each bubble, there is Lord Vishnu residing on Sheshananta, accompanied by Lakshmi Devi, and at the same time, there is Lord Brahma seated on the lotus flower held by Lord Vishnu. So now, right now, the creation hasn't happened at all. There's just this emptiness, this void. So Lord Brahma, when he's created, although he's transcendental, but he's not aware of who he is or what his purpose in life is. Although he has intelligence, but it's also conditioned at this stage by the material energy. So then he tries to understand what it is that his purpose of his creation is. So he goes down the lotus stem, down to the inside the water, and there he sort of tries to find out who he is. But even then, he's not been able to find out. And in the next second verse, he'll be able to tell you what he actually does when he goes and tries to meditate inside the water. So Lord Brahma, although he's the creator, we recognize him as the creator, but he's not really the creator as such. Supreme creator is always Lord Vishnu. Lord Brahma has been given that role as a creator by the, I suppose, by the transcendental qualities that Lord Vishnu has passed on to Lord Brahma. So normally when we hear about the three guna avatars, which we cover quite frequently in the classes, Lord Vishnu, Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva. Lord Vishnu is considered the maintainer of the material spiritual universe. Lord Brahma as well, he's considered to be the creator, and then Lord Shiva, the destroyer of the universe. But actually, in fact, the whole creation and also the devastation is done by the orders of the Supreme Lord, but it's given that delegated task to Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, just like we have been given a delegated task by our managers, by a boss, or somebody senior to us in a family, by an authority. Although we may not be directly responsible for it or given that ability to do something, but by the instructions of some authority, we're able to pass on or do that activity on their behalf. So really the credit is actually Lord Vishnu, who is the Supreme Creator. So Lord Brahma is also the father of many great personalities. So today I'm going to try and make it interactive where possible. So please shout out or add in the chat box. Who is Lord Brahma the father of?
Narada Muni.
Yes, Narada Muni, thank you. Anyone else? Who's Lord Brahma the father of? Okay, there's a message. Narada Muni, thank you, Saroj. Anyone else?
Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Indalika
It's
Mataji.
Rudra and
Yeah.
Saptarishis,
Yes.
Narada, and so many Prabhujis, so many, yeah.
Yeah.
But I know about the Saptarishis and
Yep, and the four Kumaras as well. And
yes,
later on,
yes.
we'll explain the different sampradayas like Lord Brahma and so forth. Yes, and Rudra, although he's actually comes from the mind of Lord Brahma, but in effect, although the actual creator of Lord Brahma or the father, real father, is Lord Vishnu. So actually, it mentions that Lord Brahma, although in this particular universe he has four heads, but if you read the Srimad Bhagavatam, there's another story where Lord Brahma is trying to understand who he is, but he's not actually sure who he is. And Lord Vishnu takes him to this transcendental place, and what he sees amazes him so much because he actually sees many thousands and thousands of Lord Brahma, some with four heads, some with one head, some with five heads, some with thousands and thousands of heads. And you may have seen that picture in the Srimad Bhagavatam where it shows certain Lord Brahmas with thousands of heads. So although our Lord Brahma has four heads, it's actually said that he actually had five heads, but one of the head was being taken away by Lord Shiva. I'm not really fully sure of the story behind it. I tried to research it, but I can't say for real that was a real meaning. So I was trying to look within the Srimad Bhagavatam, but I couldn't find it. If anybody does know the reason why Lord Brahma originally had 5 heads and one head was taken away by Lord Shiva, please do let us know.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, it's
Yes.
not in the Bhagavatam. You won't find it in the Bhagavatam.
Okay.
The story is that Lord Brahma and Lord Vishnu, they had a fight. That was the Lord's Leela, right? They had a fight.
Yeah.
And then they were fighting so fiercely. And Lord Shiva saw that what is going to happen. So he just stood in the middle as a pole, like stumble, as we say. So he came in front of them. So then they decided to know who is this personality in between us. They stopped fighting, both of them. And then Lord Brahma said, because I'm on my swan carrier, I can go up and find from the top where it starts. And Lord Vishnu said, okay, I'll go down to Patal and look from where it ends. So both of them went in different direction. And Lord Shiva was kind of smiling, laughing. So from his head, sorry, the Ketaki flower fell because he was shaking, he was laughing. So the Ketaki flower fell. And then Lord Brahma, he didn't see anything from where that stamba was beginning. So he just caught the Ketaki flower. And he asked Ketaki flower, I don't know. So he said, okay, I have kind of a bet with Lord Vishnu. So let's go with me and you will be my witness that I found where this stamba come from. So they came down. Then Lord Vishnu also came and he said, I didn't find anything. Lord Brahma said, I found it, but here is my witness, the Ketaki flower. So Lord Shiva got very angry. He came down, he appeared in front of them, and he cursed the Ketaki flower. He said, from now on, nobody will offer you to me. So many people still nowadays, they tell you that Ketaki flower is for Lord Shiva, whereas he has discarded that. So that is not there. And then Lord Shiva, he got very angry at Lord Brahma. He said, how could you lie to the Supreme Lord? Then he said, because you lied, I will cut off one of your head. That's where he cut off one of his head. And then Lord Vishnu, Lord Vishnu was very pleased with Lord Shiva. Then he installed one of his Shivalings, because we know there are 12 Shivalingas. So he installed one and he did abhishek to the Lord. Similarly, Lord Shiva prayed to Lord Vishnu as well. Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
In Prabhuji, very beautiful story. It's long. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, no, thank you very much, Indulekha Mataji. That's exactly what I read in the internet. But because I haven't found that story in Srimad Bhagavatam or any other stories, I wasn't sure if it was 100% true. But also at the same time, I would also doubt it as well to a certain degree, because Lord Brahma, although he's seated on the lotus flower of Lord Vishnu, so you wonder, well, how could he possibly have a five-headed Lord Vishnu? Because he always sees himself as a servitor of Lord Vishnu. So, but thank you very much for this. So some more questions I'm going to ask all of you. So please get your fingers on the buzzer. So whoever gets the most points, I'll get a Mangalarti suite. So Lord Brahma has 4 heads. So what do the 4 heads represent?
It is the 4 Vedas, Prabhuji.
Yes. Well done, Indulekha Mataji. Can you remember the 4 Vedas?
Shama Veda, Rig Veda, Ajur Veda, and
Atava Veda.
Atharva. Thank you, Prabhuji. Atharva Veda.
Rig Veda, Sam Veda, Yajur Veda, Atharva Veda.
Thank you very much. iPad Mataji, you need to change your name so we know we can recognize what your name is for the call-in for Zoom. Okay, so yes, the 4 heads represent the 4 Vedas, and the 4 faces that also represent the 4 directions, which it looks at: north, east, west, and south. Now, it is normally depicted on which particular traveling animal, I suppose you could call it. Everyone has a transcendental carrier, like Lord Vishnu has Garuda, the golden eagle. Lord Shiva has the bull, Nandini. Who can tell me what transcendental carrier does Lord Brahma travel on?
Answer.
Hansa, yeah, the swan. Very well, thank you.
Thank
And
you.
then what in his four hands, what does he hold in each hand? Anybody know? Okay, just for time, I'll just speed up a little bit. The four hands, in each of the hand he holds the scriptures, more than likely the Vedas, a lotus flower in one hand, and Japamala in the other hand, and a Kamandalu in the other hand. And he also is the master of weapons, the Mamastra. He's also very pleased and he gives that benediction very easily. And a great example is Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu did several thousands of years of tapasya, and Lord Brahma was pleased by him, and he asked him to be invincible, to be completely free from death. But Lord Brahma said, no, even I have to die as well. So he asked him certain boons that I cannot be killed in the land or the sea or the sky, cannot be killed during the daytime or nighttime by any weapons, by any humans or beasts. But who killed him in the end? Our Supreme Lord, his name is Lord
Nursing.
Nrsimhadev.
Nrsimhadev.
Thank you.
Yes.
So the problem is a lot of the demigods, they get very easily pleased by these people who actually worship the demigods for some personal benefits, some sort of way in having revenge. So just like even there is a beautiful story when I think it's Bali Maharaj, when he defeated Indra in the heavenly planets and he took over the realm of Indradev. Indradev's mother, Diti, she was very, very disappointed, very upset. She got, she wanted to curse Bali Maharaj, and she performed tapasya to please Lord Vishnu. But on this occasion, when Lord Vishnu heard her prayers, and Diti Devi said, please, 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 give me the benedictions so that I could destroy Bali Maharaj. But Lord Vishnu, he's obviously very favorable to the Brahmanas. He said, I can't do this to Bali because he's protected by the Brahmanas. And in that case, I believe the spiritual master of the demonic race was Shukracharya. So because Lord Vishnu, because he's very favorable towards the Brahmanas, or the Brahmanas are very dear to him as well, he couldn't intervene in such a way to curse Bali Maharaj. But what he did, he said that I could come as Vamanadev, as a dwarf, and then from there, then at least Lord Indra could reinstate back into his kingdom, the heavenly planets. So actually, there is also a mention about that Lord Brahma. When you actually go to India, there's many temples of Lord Shiva, Mahadevi, Lord Vishnu, Krishna, of course, Radharani, many of the like Ganesh and even Hanuman temples. But there isn't that many temple of Lord Brahma. There is one particular temple in Pushkar. Hopefully you can see this. There's because he's not really worshipped in the same way as Lord Vishnu or Lord Shiva, or rather Mahadevi, but he's actually recognized as a creator by only name rather than as supreme deity itself. Whereas when people worship Lord Brahma, Lord Lord Hanuman or Lord Ganesh, there's certainly a certain element of protection, please, and free us from any obstacles in our life. We pray to Lord Vishnu to perhaps to pray for a better future in our life. And of course, for those devotees who pray to Krishna, pray for pure bhakti. And actually, in the first verse that we were reading earlier on, Srila Prabhupada does mention that it's only through bhakti that Lord Brahma is able to actually understand who he is. It's not by performing any sort of tapasya at all. It wasn't by performing like a Stanga yoga or some jhana yoga, jnana yoga, karma yoga. It was only through bhakti he was able to connect himself to Lord Vishnu. So when he was engaged in the, now I've just got to read also quickly, just briefly, from the word Brahma comes the word Brahmana, and also from the from the word Brahmana, when we read the Bhagavad Gita, it mentions the qualities of a Brahmana, that he's always peaceful, very truthful, he's always performing austerity, he's always engaged in devotional service. So, sort of personalities who are very, very clean in their behavior. So some qualities it mentions about the 4 classes of society: the Brahmanas, the Kshatriyas, the Vaishyas, the Shudras, and Krishna explains to Arjuna the different qualities of each of those different representative of the societies. And also the word Brahman, which is actually recognized as the supreme effulgence of the Supreme Lord, when it's recognized as the absolute truth. By the absolute truth, he's recognized as Brahman, Paramatman, Bhagavan. So Brahman is also like the representation of the Supreme Lord in its effulgence form. Like you have the sun, you have the sun glow, the glare, which is compared to the effulgence of the Supreme Lord, which illuminates the whole of the spiritual world. So when he actually goes down, traverses down the stem of the lotus flower he's seated on, the next verse that we're going to be reading is verse number 6. So, my apologies. I should actually, while I'm actually explaining this, I should actually recite the introduction prayers. So I'll quickly go through this. Om Jnana Tirmandasya Jnana Jana Shalakaya Chakshurmulatam Yena Tasmai Shikarve Nama Shri Chaitanya Mano Bhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayurrupa Kadamaya Tadati Swapadantikam Vande Ham Shiguru Shiyuta Padakamalam Shiguru Vaishtavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shivishikamatam Cha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Chakapate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Tapta Kanchana Gorangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Shabana Sate Devi Pranamami Haripriye Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyacha Patitana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Vishnu Padaya Vishnu Pashtai Patale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namane Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasa Gaura Bhaktivedanta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So normally we would actually read the verse, read the translation, then read the purport, and then give a commentary. But because we're reading 3 verses, I ignorantly started speaking about the commentary on Srila Prabhupada's purport. So first of all, I also like to seek the blessings of my spiritual master, His Holiness Bhakti Swami, and also the blessings of Srila Prabhupada, His Govinda BBT Founder Chair, also all your blessings as well, so that I may speak on the wonderful glories and topics of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and His wonderful devotees. So verse number 6. Sa chintyanjaya aksharam ekadambasi upashino dvigatita vacho vibhu spareshu yatsudashan vivaki ekavimsham niskinjanam nirpayadhanam vidu. Translation: while it's engaged in thinking in the water, Brahmaji heard twice from nearby 2 syllables joined together. One of the syllables was taken from the 16th and the other from the 21st of the Sparsha alphabet, and both joined to become the wealth of the renounced order of life. In Sanskrit language, purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. In Sanskrit language, the consonant alphabets are divided into 2 divisions, namely the Sparsha Varnas and the Talavya Varnas. From Ka to Ma, the letters are known as the Sparsha Varnas, and the 16th of the group is called Ta, whereas the 21st letter is called Pa. So when they are joined together, the word Tapa, or penance, is constructed. This penance is the beauty and wealth of the Brahmanas and the renounced order of life. So this is so beautiful. So Tapa means penance. The penance is the beauty and wealth of the Brahmanas and the renounced order of life. So nicely put by Srila Prabhupada. According to Bhagavad philosophy, every human being is meant simply for this tapa, but for no other business, because by penance only can one realize his self, and self-realization, not sense gratification, is the business of human life. This tapa or penance was begun from the very beginning of the creation. It was first adopted by the Supreme Spiritual Master, Lord Brahma. By tapasya, one can get the profit of human life, and not by a polished civilization of animal life. The animal does not know anything except sense gratification in the jurisdiction of eat, drink, be merry, and enjoy. But the human being is made to undergo tapasya for going back to Godhead, back home. And Lord Brahma was perplexed about how to construct the material manifestations in the universe, and went down within the water to find out the means and the source of his lotus seed. He heard the word tapa vibrated twice. Taking the path of tapa is the second birth of the desired disciple. The word upashinot is very significant. It is similar to upanayana, or bringing the disciple nearer to the spiritual master for the path of tapa. So Brahmaji was thus initiated by Lord Krishna. And this fact is corroborated by Brahmaji himself in this book, the Brahma Samhita. The Brahma Samhita, Lord Brahma has sung in every verse, Govinda Madi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Thus Brahma was initiated by the Krishna mantra, by Lord Krishna himself. Thus he became a Vaishnava, devotee of the Lord. Before he was able to construct the huge universe, it is stated in the Brahma Samhita that Lord Brahma was initiated into the 18-letter Krishna mantra, which is generally accepted by all the devotees of Lord Krishna. We follow the same principles because we belong to the Brahma Sampradaya, directly in the disciplic chain from Brahma to Narada, from Narada to Vyasa, from Vyasa to Madhava Muni, Madhava Muni to Madhavendra Puri, Madhavendra Puri to Ishwar Puri, from Ishwar Puri to Lord Chaitanya, and gradually to his divine grace, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, a divine master. One who is thus initiated in the disciplic succession is able to achieve the same result while creation, chanting of this holy mantra, is the only shelter of the desireless pure devotee of the Lord. Simply by such tapasya or penance, the devotee of the Lord achieves all perfections like Lord Brahma. So this is another beautiful purport by Srila Prabhupada, because when you actually read the translation, we don't really fully understand what it is that is happening in that particular instance of the pastime. Prabhupada actually explains when Lord Brahma goes down to the ocean and he meditates and he hears the word tapa twice, then he actually does performance penances for thousands of years in the span of demigod lifetime. So when he actually does tapasya, Prabhupada actually explained this is also the beginning for all the devotees itself. Now, in your own spiritual journey, or rather, first of all, what do you think tapa means to you? Okay, although we say it as penance, when I was just searching out what penance means, it's an act of self-abasement, mortification, or devotion performed to show sorrow or repentance of sin. So in your own life, or when you've been associated within Srila Prabhupada's ISKCON, what sort of tapasya do you think Srila Prabhupada went through, or the devotees? Can anyone give me any examples?
Krishna Prabhuji,
Yes, Mataji.
Waking up early and
Good.
chanting the japa,
Yep.
and then abstaining from following the four regulative principles, and also abstaining from like tea, coffee, which people have got like used to. So, and then the association also should be like with pure devotees and not with the mundane people.
Yeah,
Hare
very
Krishna.
good. Very good. Thank you, Mataji. Yes, she actually hit the what did I say? The hammer on the nail. The four regulator principles: no meat eating, no gambling, no illicit sex, no intoxication. Now, most of us, if we are coming from a sort of Indian background, we're sort of conditioned by spiritual values from our parents. Most of us have been fortunate in that situation. But for Westerners, because sensory gratification involves meat eating, gambling, illicit sex, intoxication, to give those up is a great sort of austerity for them, because that's what they've been acquainted to all their lives from such a young age. Yes, Aman, you wanted to say something? No, you probably accidentally. So yes, waking up early is not easy. Waking up early, like especially during the winter time or summertime, it's great. You see the sun rising by at least 4:45 in the morning. And then also abstaining from sense gratification. There's so much sense gratification that's going on in this world, especially in the last 20 years since the development of computers, the social media, all the different channels that you can have on TV, Netflix, Prime Video, Disney Plus, YouTube. It's enough to distract everybody, and you just want to watch something very simple, and then before you know it, you watch one show, then another show, and another show. Especially during the lockdown, when we were getting a bit bored at that particular point, being stuck indoors. What do we do? There's not much we can do, and I have to admit as well, I won't deny it. I ended up watching TV far more than I should have done, when I should have been reading scriptural books. Of course, that was there. The chanting was there. But then there was also that feeling of what's going on around the world, what's happening as well. So these tapasya are so important in our spiritual journey, because without tapasya, you can't really progress in your spiritual life. So in the Bhagavad Gita, Srila Prabhupada, Lord Krishna explains, just for time, I'll just read the translation. Acts of sacrifice, charity, and penance are not to be given up. They must be performed. Indeed, sacrifice, charity, and penance purify even the great souls. So without trying to become a devotee of the Lord, if you don't give up, if you don't actually perform sacrifices, charity, and penance, then you don't actually purify yourself. You don't actually advance yourself. You don't understand what it is that you've got to refrain from in order to achieve or accept something which is favorable in your Krishna consciousness. And even in the book Dictative Instruction, it actually mentions, I think it's the first or second verse, that Rupa Goswami mentions that you should accept only things that are favorable in Krishna consciousness and reject things which are not favorable in helping you advance in your spiritual journey. So penance is very important. And also one of the other things in penance is doing a fasting as well. Many of us fast on special days like Ekadashi, special religious days, Janmashtami, Radhashtami, Nashinga Chaturdasi, Ramnami. And also, when you think about it, we're actually refraining, controlling our mind, my senses, our belly, the tongue, in every way. So that's a form of penance as well. When you go on pilgrimage as well, when you go on yatras, that's also a form of tapasya, because you're traveling, you may be going barefooted, walking around on the parikram, you're restricting yourself from eating only a certain amount of prasadam or water during the day. You're also performing tapasya as well when you're actually sitting in the class and Bhagavatam, cross-legged for such a long time. Same thing when you're going on yatras, you're going and enduring a lot of difficulties, traveling from A to B, by certain transportation that may not be so favorable or comfortable in one's journey, being stuck in traffic jam, but also controlling your mind, your senses. There's so many ways of controlling your mind, your senses, by also focusing ourselves on the Supreme Lord. And in the previous verse, Srila Prabhupada mentions in the purport that Lord Brahma, because he accepted bhakti, was a way of acquiring transcendental knowledge, transcendental purification. So Lord Brahma, when he performs this tapasya, there's one more verse I want to share with you. But also when you perform these penances, this charity, when you read the Bhagavad Gita, actually mentions, I keep saying Srila Prabhupada, Krishna mentions, because we're so used to reading the purpose by Srila Prabhupada, because it's got a far better explanation, so we can understand and digest. So when Krishna says to Arjuna, that you perform these penances, to perform this charity, to perform these sacrifices, but you've got to do it in a certain mood, for a certain desire of not expecting anything in return. And explains it in the form of goodness, passion, and ignorance, the three modes. So in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 17, verse numbers 5 to 6, Krishna says, those who undergo severe austerities and penances not recommended in the scriptures, performing them out of pride and egoism, were impelled by lust and attachment, were foolish, and who torture the material elements of the body as well as the supersoul dwelling within, are to be known as demons. So this is really important when you're actually performing any of these austerities, penance, or charity. That means you may want some form, name, recognition. You're doing that out of pride. You want to show yourself how good you are. And of course, nowadays there's so many self-claimed Babajis as well who think they're very important. They want some recognition. But of course, there's some very, very transcendental Babajis as well who don't want anything at all. They're just completely absorbed in serving Krishna and serving the devotees in whatever way, because from their previous past lives, they've been able to carry on and continue in their spiritual journey in this lifetime as well. So it's important that we don't just perform penances just for the sake of something in return. Of course, we always want something. Of course, Krishna provides everything to us from, the air that we breathe, the water that we drink to hydrate ourselves, the prasadam that we eat, all the food that he supplies from the little tiny insignificant ant to the mighty elephant. Krishna provides for everybody. There's no shortage of anything for anyone at all. It's just certain elements in society that prevents certain people from having certain opulences or certain basic requirements that may be reduced or refrained or restricted from society or the nation because of government policies, political issues, and so forth. But we won't go into that so much. So on this particular purport, Srila Prabhupada actually mentions about the word upanaya, if I can find it. Oh, sorry, I'm on the wrong verse. Yeah, upanaya. This is really quite an important word. Upanayana is almost like connecting yourself to the spiritual master. So in the Bhagavad Gita and the Srimad Bhagavatam, it explains the importance of having a spiritual master, a spiritual authority of Krishna himself, and from him, Lord Brahma, then it gets passed on to Narada Muni, as we were reading earlier on, from Narada Muni to Vyasadeva, and so forth, until it comes to Madhavendra Puri, to Ishwara Puri, and then Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya revived the Hare Krishna movement 500 years ago in Bengal. The importance of upanaya is when you connect to your spiritual master. So even like Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was criticized by his spiritual master that you're a fool, that you should just chant the holy name of the Lord. And then that's exactly what Lord Chaitanya did. He just started this Hare Krishna movement, just basically on chanting the holy names of the Lord, because that is the Yuga Avatar for this particular age of Kali. So when we have this connection with the spiritual master, if he's obviously a bona fide spiritual master, he could actually take you back to the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. Without the authority of the spiritual master, without the blessings of the spiritual authority, then forevermore you're struggling to find out your identity, your connection to the Supreme Lord. You may not be fully understanding the Supreme Lord and serving his devotees. And yesterday, Janita Prabhu gave a lovely class about the importance about prayers for the devotees as well and for others. And he mentions that he quoted a particular verse from Lord Shiva speaking to Parvati Devi, that he explains that the highest form of spiritual wealth is the worship of Lord Vishnu. But even higher than that is the worship of Lord Vishnu's devotees. So for most of us who are very conditioned, they may not be able to understand that. How is it possible that we could worship the devotees of the Lord? We see them as humans. We see sometimes they may have some sort of inability to have impurity in them as well, because we're sort of conditioned by the material nature. But actually, when you worship Lord Vishnu's devotees, Lord Vishnu is even more pleased, because Lord Vishnu doesn't need any prayers. He's not want of anything at all. He's aloof from any sort of material desires or spiritual desires, because he's the supreme authority. He's self-sustained in every way. He doesn't require anything from anybody, but because out of love for his devotees love for him, he reciprocates in such a way. And when he actually sees that we actually serve in his devotees, he sees that this is a very genuine devotee, because the devotees are gentle by nature. Their only desire is to bring other fallen conditioned souls to the lotus feet of Krishna. So there's no devotee more greater than he who preaches my glories to other devotees. So it's important that we actually try our best to serve Krishna's devotees. And sometimes we do have the element of, well, I'd like to serve this devotee, and perhaps this devotee may not be so favorable. He has a different nature. But somehow, if you came in one of the classes by wonderful devotee of Radhanath Maharaj, I always keep forgetting his name, but anyway, he gave a wonderful talk on writing in a journal. And he was explaining that sometimes we connect to certain devotees that may be very favorable. We appreciate them because they inspire us, they encourage us, they motivate us. The mood of devotion, the way they speak, the way they talk, the way they carry out any devotional service, we just automatically get drawn to them, just like the spiritual devotees, senior devotees within ISKCON, and also outside ISKCON who are devotees of Krishna. We become very attracted to them. But there are sometimes differences that we may have with certain devotees that we may not see eye to eye. But this particular devotee, he actually mentioned, try and think of some good qualities in that particular devotee. And today, there was such a wonderful kirtan in Snana Yatra. Normally, we always sit down during the bathing of Lord Jagannath, but Lord Baladev and Subhadra Maharani. And it's such a nice mood. But today, Keshava Maharaj told everybody to stand up and let's dance. And I thought, oh no, I don't want to dance. But once the kirtan started going, and there was a particular singer, he travels around, he sang and he got everybody engaged in such a nice way. And that actually got everybody engaged in dancing for the Supreme Lord. Of course, it's nice to sit down and meditate on the Supreme Lord while we're bathing, but the point I was trying to make, I wasn't really keen, and I was thinking, oh, I don't really want to dance, because we always sit down. Once we got going, we appreciated what that particular personality was saying, and we see some sort of good fortune, good motivation in our spiritual journey as well. So just briefly, quickly, we're talking about Lord Brahma and the Sampradaya. So does anybody know what the 4 Sampradayas are? Okay, just for time, I'll press on. Oh, is it?
It's Brahma, Rudra, Lakshmi, and the Kumaras.
Yes, that's brilliant. Thank you, Dalika Mataji. And Shriji Kishori Mataji, is there a bhajan today? I'm sure there is.
Yes, Prabhuji, yes.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I'll just be 2 minutes.
Okay, thank you.
I still got 3 more pages to go through. So Lakshmi Narayan is one of the Sampradaya, Brahma Sampradaya, and Rudra Sampradaya, and the 4 Kumaras. So the different acharyas who've been passed on from that particular Sampradaya from generation to generation for Lakshmi Sampradaya is Ramanuja. And if you've been to the beautiful temples of Sri Rangam, Tirupati, Ahobilam, oh my gosh, they're so amazing. And if you haven't been, please to go. I went for the first time earlier this year. Loved it so much. I'm going again this year again, because I was so amazed by the beautiful qualities and the forms of Lord Vishnu, Mahadev, Sri Rangam. When you go down there, it's so amazing. For Lord Brahma, we have the Gaudiya Math. ISKCON is part of that Sampradaya as well, from the Brahma Sampradaya. The Acharya for that is Madhavacharya, preeminent Acharya for that particular Sampradaya. For Rudra Sampradaya is Vallabhacharya, and that's also recognized as the Pushti Marg Sampradaya. And then we have the 4 Kumaras. From there is Nimbakacharya. So there are a few temples within India, Nimbakacharya Pith, and other temples and ashrams around India. Because we're sort of short of time, I'm just going to stop there, but I just want to explain just 1 minute, if it's all right, Kishore Mataji, about the tapasya, the penance, the tapa that Srila Prabhupada has actually endured, just so that we could actually have this wonderful society known as ISKCON. And my Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Bhattacharya Maharaj, he was saying, whatever you do, please don't let go. Just remain on the boat of ISKCON. There may be certain faults, maybe some difficulties in your spiritual journey, but once you stay in the boat, you know, under the shelter of Srila Prabhupada's lotus feet, who went through so many austerities at the age of 69, traveled on the Jaladuta for 45 days plus, had a couple of heart attacks on a cargo ship, 40 rupees, traveling to the West, struggled for 1 year, having difficulties, trying to find accommodation, you know, even finding food just to stay alive, to get somebody to help and assist him. He went through so many difficulties. And yet when we come to the temple, we're so fortunate. We have the beautiful deities, Lordship, Shri Radha Gokulananda, Shri Sitaram Lakshmanama, Shri Gaurnitai, Shri Radha Nandeshwar, Jagannatha Subhadra Baladev. We're so fortunate that everything's there for us. Prashadam, you know, the devotee association, devotional service. You know, most of us, we really think about it, we wouldn't have been really so spiritually connected to that degree if it hadn't been for Srila Prabhupada. So all of you, please take this opportunity. If you are coming regularly to temple, continue your service to temple, preach to other devotees, give out the Bhagavad Gita, nurse the Bhadra campaign, try and give out the Srimad Bhagavatam to other people who may not be so fortunate as we are. And also be connected to a spiritual authority, because it's so important that the whole Srimad Bhagavatam is based on spiritual authority, having that disciplic succession. So please kindly forgive me for any mistakes I've made, and also speak a bit faster than normal. I really appreciate that all of you are still tuning into the chat sessions after 4 or 5 years. And please bless me so I could continue serving you, all of you, my spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada. Jai Vanchakalpa Tarubhyasya Kripasindhubhya Patitanam
Patitanam
Pavanebhyo
Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo
Namo
Namo Namaha.
Namaha.
Hare Krishna. Thank you,
Hare
everyone.
Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji, for a wonderful class. So nicely explained. Everything is so nicely explained. So we have, Prabhuji, we have Aman Prabhu, who will be singing a very nice bhajan entitled Bhaja Gauranga. And dear Devika will be reading the English translation of the bhajan. Thank you, Jyoti Mataji, for sharing the lyrics. So, Devika, are you ready to read the English translation first before Aman Prabhu sings?
Hare Krishna, yes, Mataji.
Thank you.
Worship Lord Gauranga, chant Gauranga, speak about Lord Gauranga only. Those who worships Lord Gauranga is needed my life and seed. Indeed, my life and soul. Chanting Gauranga, go out with your arms raised, dancing and dancing. By chanting Gauranga and worshipping him, one miseries will end. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Devika. Beautifully recited. Aman Prabhu, are you ready to sing the bhajan?
Mataji, could I just ask up to zoom in a bit more so people could read the and to your left as well? Thank you.
There we are. Thank you so much, Jyoti Mataji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Aman Prabhu, are you ready to sing the bhajan?
Yes, Mataji. Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Bhajan Gauranga, Lavo Bhajan Gauranga, Gauranga, Lavo Gauranga, mere Ji Jan Gauranga bhaje, Shiho amar prane, Ji Jan Gauranga bhaje, Shiho amar prane, Bhaji Gauranga, Kaho Gauranga, Lahu Gauranga, যে জঙ্গ ভাজে চিহ আমার প্রাণে যে জঙ্গ ভাজে চিহ আমার প্রাণে গৌরাঙ্গা বলিয়া তু বহু তুলিয়া গৌরাঙ্গা বলিয়া তু বহু তুলিয়া নাচিয়া নাচিয়া বেড়াও রে গৌরাঙ্গা বলিয়া তু বহু তুলিয়া নাচিয়া নাচিয়া বেড়াও রে গৌরাঙ্গা বলিয়া তু বহু তুলিয়া নাচিয়া নাচিয়া বেড়াও রে গৌরাঙ্গা বলিয়া তু বহু তুলিয়া নাচিয়া নাচিয়া বেড়াও রে ভজে গৌরাঙ্গা কাহো গৌরাঙ্গা লহু গৌরাঙ্গা গিরা নামে জি জানব রঙ্গা ভাজে সে হো আমার প্রাণে যে ভাজে সে হো আমার প্রাণে গৌরাঙ্গা ভজিলে গৌরাঙ্গা জপিলে হয় গৌরাঙ্গা ভজিলে গৌরাঙ্গা জপিলে হয় দুঃখেরা বেশানে রে গৌরাঙ্গা ভজিলে গৌরাঙ্গা জপিলে হয় দুঃখেরা বেশানে রে ভজ গৌরাঙ্গা কাহো গৌরাঙ্গা লেহো গৌরাঙ্গিরা নামে রে ভজ গৌরাঙ্গা কাহো গৌরাঙ্গা লহো গৌরাঙ্গিরা নামে রে জি জান গৌরাঙ্গা ভাজে সে হো আমার প্রাণে রে যে জান ভাজে সে হো আমার প্রাণে রে সে হো আমার প্রাণে রে সে হো আমার প্রাণে রে হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম হরে রাম 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 হরে হরে
Hare Krishna, beautifully sung, Aman Prabhu. Very nice. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. So, is Prabhuji still there? Krishna Govinda Prabhuji?
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Aman Prabhu. Aman's actually a very dedicated devotee. If you don't know him, he actually comes for morning program most of the mornings in the week. And he also sings Tulsi Arati as well in the morning. Very dedicated devotee. So please, get inspired by his association if you can. And also thank you so much to the organizers, Shri Kishore Mataji and Jyoti Mataji, always arranging these wonderful Zoom sessions for everybody to participate. So do have a wonderful week, and just pray that we could all remain under the shelter of our Lotus feet of our spiritual master eternally. Panchakapa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya
Vacha
Patitanam
Patitanam Pavanebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo
Namo
Namo
Namaha. Hare Krishna,
Namaha.
everyone.
Hare Krishna. Thank you,
Thank you,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna,
Hare
everyone.
Krishna. Thank you,
Thank you, Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.